First time doing coke, I was 17, working on Disney Channel, and
when it comes to certain stars in Hollywood and the music world, you look at them and think they're perfect in certain fashion, that they are so put together that they don't go and suffer through certain things that everyone else does. But in fact, many of them do. Many of them go through some of the very same struggles that many are dealing with and are scared to admit. And a great example of this is Demi Lovato, who has undergone all sorts of trauma and illness and self-inflicted injuries over the course of her career. So allow us to show you how Demi Lovato finally speaks out on her dark past. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Bouts with mental illnesses. Demi Lovato is a very popular singer and performer and actress that got her start on the Disney Channel, and she has had a lot of success. But that doesn't mean that she hasn't had her fair share of struggles over the years. For at the age of 18, she revealed to the world that she had gone through a lot of terrible things growing up, including being the subject of bullying, having several eating disorders, and more. Adding on to that, as she was getting treated for these numerous things, she found out that she had bipolar disorder, and it was this illness that led her to do things that we just mentioned and that we will discuss a little later. Now that she knew what was going on inside her mind, she was able to get better, to learn techniques that allowed her to go and live a better life. For the first time in my life, I started to feel, she said, about her condition. Demi Lovato has become a spokesperson for mental illness and helping people to speak up so that they can be treated. This is an inspiring thing to hear because mental illnesses are no joke, and bipolar disorder can truly wreck some people. And to be fair to Demi, it was indeed something that almost wrecked her completely. The 2018 overdose. We say that because in 2018, her life was almost taken by her own hand. Her 2018 overdose on fentanyl led to a heart attack, multiple strokes, and temporary blindness. Followed by her latest stint in rehab, she has now officially survived the 27 Club, the end for too many celebs. And as a 28-year-old woman who struggles with addiction, an eating disorder, and the compounded trauma of multiple sexual assaults, and who has been in the public eye for 2/3 of her life, she knew that to get herself to a place approaching stability and balance, there wasn't just one thing to fix. I've had to reshape my thinking, she says. I used to just say everything. Now I keep some things to myself. Going back to the overdose, there are certain elements of that incident that still resound with her today. I was left with brain damage, and I still deal with the effects of that today. I don't drive a car because I have blind spots in my vision. And I also, for a long time, had a really hard time reading. It was a big deal when I was able to read out of a book, which was like 2 months later because my vision was so blurry. Repercussions and accountability. As we have already shown you, Demi Lovato has been through a lot in her time in the spotlight, and she knows that if she's not careful, she could be a victim yet again. I dealt with a lot of the repercussions, and I still feel like they are there to remind me of what could happen if I ever get into a dark place again, she added. I'm grateful for those reminders, but I'm so grateful that I was someone that didn't have to do a lot of rehabbing. The rehabbing came on the emotional side. The singer, however, told people that she wouldn't change a thing about the aftermath of the overdose. Everything had to happen in order for me to learn the lessons that I learned. It was a painful journey, and I look back and sometimes I get sad when I think of the pain that I had to endure to overcome what I have, but I don't regret anything. I'm so proud of the person that I am today, she added. And I'm so proud that people get to see it in this documentary, and I couldn't be more grateful that I had someone by my side. She speaks of a documentary that she made during 2020, a year that took a toll on her alongside everyone else and will be soon arriving in 2021. In the revelatory trailer for the documentary, Lovato's friends and family, including her mother and stepfather along with her sister, do interviews talking about the grueling moments that led up to her overdose and what happened afterward. Elton John is also interviewed. Anytime you suppress a part of yourself, it's going to overflow, Lovato says in the trailer. But she also noted that through this documentary, she's showing that she wants to hold herself accountable for what has happened. I am holding myself accountable, Lovato told reporters. I learned a lot from my past. I was sober for 6 years, and I learned so much from that journey. That's the main thing that I learned, was coming forward and talking about my story held me accountable. Now that is a huge reason as to why I am doing this, But I think that I was just so proud of the growth that I experienced, and something inside of me was really excited to share that with people, she added. Struggles in the industry. As noted, Demi Lovato is a major star across many platforms, but the singer said that it wasn't just the substances that led to her breaking point, but also past traumas and things she faced within the industry. As long as I continue to tell my truth, I'm going to make music that resonates with people, Lovato said Wednesday. And that is my purpose. I'm an artist that cares a lot about her community, and my community is the entire planet. So I'm just always striving to help. I think that my work is going to only benefit now that I've learned so much about myself. And if you're curious as to what the past industry traumas she suffered, you only need to look at her time on the Disney Channel. Demi Lovato was the star of their hit series, Sunny with a Chance. And then she decided to leave the show because she was going through physical and mental issues due to an eating disorder that she had. Disney fully and happily let her do that, and they converted the show into a sketch variety show called Totally Random. Nothing wrong so far, right? Well, in one episode, a character noted that another character only ate one meal a week. Apparently it was because his agent told him if he ate too much, he wouldn't get the job. Which is a terrible joke because this is a thing that really did happen and it caused a lot of pain, including with Demi Lovato. The joke was so bad and caused too much controversy that the episode is not allowed to be rebroadcast. And not surprisingly, Totally Random lasted only one season. And as if that wasn't bad enough though, Disney made a similar joke on another one of their shows where a girl noted that some food she saw would taste good, you know, if I ate. Demi spoke out on this again, and Disney didn't re-air that episode either. So yeah, you wouldn't expect this kind of thing from a company like Disney, and yet they did it. And Demi definitely had to speak her mind on it because it hit so close to home. Demi's new life. After all she's gone through, you have to wonder how much Demi has had to change in order to get a better life for herself. And honestly, she has changed a lot. But now not only does she eat right and take care of her body in various ways, she also takes time off on the weekends to ensure that she has time to herself. I work really hard during the week, and it's just important to me that I have a few days off, says Lovato, who has been working professionally since she was a preteen. That was never an option for me growing up. It's empowering to be like, hey, my values changed. I'm putting my wellness in front of my work, and we can come back to this on another day. Something that many of you out there can learn from, no doubt. Demi's future. As for what Demi Lovato is going to do in the future, she is working on a new full-length album. Her documentary is coming out soon, and she is aiming to try to make a true new life for herself. Hopefully her tale of darkness and having to overcome tragedy on various levels will show you the truth about how not everyone who is in the entertainment industry has a perfect life. Rarely, if ever, does that happen, as Demi can attest to. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the various times in Demi Lovato's life that weren't the best for her physically, mentally, emotionally, and so on? Are you proud of her for making it through all of these troubles and disasters? Do you think that her new mindset is going to help her not just survive, but thrive in the world? What do you think she'll do next to improve her life? Let us know in the comments below, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.